At long last, the suspenseful wait is finally over. Joe Biden made the shocking choice to pick Kamala Harris as his VP. Oh my God, it's so shocking. I was saying this for months. I saw this coming. Now, a few folks had been floating another lady. Her name escapes me at the moment. But he had already said it was going to be a female. Obviously, we knew that Amy Klobuchar had, removed herself from the equation. So we knew it wasn't going to be, Toadette. Okay? But it turns out it's going to be Kamala Harris, which is who I've been saying for quite some time now. There wasn't really much question about it to me. Kamala Harris certainly had her eyes set on the prize. She fits the Joe Biden molds. She, had that little back and forth that one time with Joe Biden during the primary season. So everything just seemed to line up perfectly. Furthermore than that, this is clearly another sign that Joe Biden is trying to seriously win votes, aside from the fact she's a woman, and she's a woman of color. So we're just going to play complete identity politics here. We're not going to pick a VP who's actually got some decent, credentials to lead the country and do what's right by the people. We're going to pick the one who we think, based off of looks and color and gender alone, are going to garnish in the politically correct votes out here, in the PC police votes and all that horse crap, right? So this is nothing but more show, superficial BS from the Democratic Party. I saw this coming for quite some time. So this is really no surprise to me at all. Now, what great things can we say about a Vice President Kamala Harris should Joe Biden win the election in November? Let's see. Kamala Harris hasn't really supported body cams on police in the past. Kamala Harris has increasingly voted for a plumper military budget over time. Okay, Kamala Harris had quite a little bit of controversy with her school program. Oh, but Kamala Harris also was caught keeping people in prisons past their, sentence times so they could be used as cheap labor for the state of California. Now, who told us that little fact? Who informed the world about that detail that not many people might have been that privy to? Who let us in on the secret? Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard. Someone else who ran for president of the United States. A lot of the quote-unquote Tulsi-crats were really hoping she was going to be that VP pick. I've been telling you this entire time too. That wasn't going to happen. I think a lot of people, if we're being honest, believe that wasn't going to happen. Pretty much everybody who took a step back, removed any personal bias from the equation, and looked at the facts as they were, could clearly see, at least in my case, I could see it very clearly, it was going to be Kamala Harris. Again, check me on that. Check any video I've done where we've discussed the VP pick. I may have suggested an option 2 or 3, but Kamala Harris was definitely right there at the top of my list. Okay, that was my number 1 pick. So I just had the feeling. I thought, well, maybe Stacey Abrams, but I believe Kamala Harris. I believe Kamala Harris is the winner of the contest. So back to just a moment. Again, Tulsi Gabbard educated us very much about Kamala Harris. Really exposed what a low-down scumbag Kamala Harris could really be. Now, Tulsi Gabbard, in my criticisms of her, many people have said, look, you need to get off of the whole endorsement video. You need to let it go. Which again, I'll reiterate here, my problem was never with the simple endorsement. It was the praise of Joe Biden, which everyone keeps warping around, acting like I'm pretending that I'm pissed. She honored a pledge. And I released a video on Twitter the other day, by the way. And I literally said in the video, I said, show me where in a pledge or any document she signed to run, it said you have to praise the person and just over the top praise them. Now, I said lie. And I said lie because, quite frankly, what she said about Joe Biden was a lie. And we're going to get back to that in a minute. But I gave a challenge to all people who keep arguing with me about it. I said, show me where it said she had to just shower Joe Biden or the nominee with praise. Because you can endorse someone just like this. I'm dropping out of the race. It's clear that I'm not going to win. And so I will give my support and endorsement to the eventual nominee. Or even just say Joe Biden. Boom! Done. Talk about what we need to do as a country. Talk about, what you would like to see implemented. Even talk about getting, single payer plus. Talk about ending the wars. But you don't also have to sit there and say, Biden with his good heart and imply that he could do these things. See, you could just have said what you wanted to see. And so you're going to endorse that person and left the extra language out of it. It's that simple. It's that simple. But again, let's let that go. Because when I gave that challenge, show me where it said that she had to do that, immediately I got 2 to 3 comments on the reply that immediately start the same old tired argument I continuously have with the Tulsi cracks these days. The same old tired argument. God, you don't know how sick I am of hearing a broken record. And you might say the same thing about me on the issue, but my point is this. I was very specific in what I was asking for. And the kind of responses that I started getting to it were along the lines of, well, she had no other choice. Bernie was going to drop out. Joe was on. That's not what I asked, dude. I didn't ask why did she honor her pledge. I said provide me evidence that said she had to do it that way. Where does it say you have to just praise the nominee even if it means lying? And then some people said, well, I don't feel that she felt she was lying. So that brings up a very interesting point. That brings me to my final points video. Again, she educated us on just who Kamala Harris is, right? So we know Joe Biden, if you really follow Joe Biden, is no good. Tulsi Gabbard educated us that Kamala Harris is no good. And Tulsi Gabbard did such a great job at educating us of that she literally cut the knees right out from underneath Kamala Harris, sunk her campaign, torpedoed it, son. She was done. Okay? So now that that's the VP pick, I'm curious, where does the Congresswoman stand on the Joe Biden candidacy now? I get she hasn't spoken any more about it since her video. I want her to. I want to hear what she's got to say. Is she going to be silent? Is she all of a sudden going to turn around and congratulate the woman who she exposed for being part of the problem? Is she going to congratulate her? Is she going to praise her like she did Joe in that video? I'm curious what she's going to do now, seriously. Because it seems to me that a lot of people still have a very big hope in the Congresswoman. And so now that we know who the VP pick is going to be, and it is the lady that this hero of a wing of the Democrat Party now, of a wing of the left, their hero literally took down in the primaries, I'm curious what she's going to have to say. And as far as I know, so far, she has not released a statement on it. So I'm curious, will she say anything? And if she does, what will she have to say? Is she going to be critical? Like she should, ideally. And I know some people, oh, it's committing suicide. You can't criticize it. Sure she can. I thought that's called putting the people above the party. So if she doesn't criticize this pick after what she exposed on that debate stage, then that would tell me she's putting party above people. She's more concerned with her own political skin than telling the truth. You expose the woman in the primaries, So why don't you do it now? Curious to see what happens. Seriously. But Kamala Harris, the VP pick. Either way you slice this, unless we get Joe Jorgensen elected this November, we are screwed in more ways than one, because my next video is going to be talking about the other man in the big two-party running for president. I don't release that many Trump videos, but I'll be dropping one today, and that's what my next video is going to be about.